It wasn't a quiet year. We did talk about SaaS through the lens of collaboration, but let's talk about it through the lens of CRM and ERP and some big moves. And I'll start off with one. I mean, Salesforce kind of shocked the world to end the year. So right at the end of this year, Slackforce was united, massive 27 billion.
Yeah, that's right.
Acquisition. Of the company and Salesforce putting its name in ink, saying we want to play in collab, we're going to play in productivity, and starting to look a lot more like it wants to have a product offering to line up right there with the Microsofts, the Googles of the world. So we've seen SaaS explode, Pat. And one other thing I want to point out is in the cloud is kind of that headless piece is the CDP has gone massive. So the customer data platform. So analytics is really driving the whole SaaS experience. That can be for your ERPs. That can be for your customer experience management. That can be for your HCM, your human capital management tools. And of course, we're starting to see this migration and integration of extra data and intra data so that you can basically run a SaaS stack that can look at data across your unstructured across the web, and it can connect to all the structured data in your backend systems, and it can do instant analytics. And the analytics field, by the way, is getting massive. So cloud, SaaS, analytics, and this spins back, Pat. And I know it's kind of like the rabbit hole you go down, but now what's happening is just like the cloud went hybrid, we're starting to see SaaS go hybrid. So you're starting to see, well, you want Salesforce to run really well in your organization? It's going to go hybrid. That's why the company acquired Tableau earlier in the year. By the way, total hybrid play. You want to run Microsoft Dynamics CRM in the cloud? That's great. You want it to run best? You're going to put data in Azure, and you're going to turn it into a hybrid stack, and it's going to run on Azure Stack, and it's going to collectively pull data from your SAP ERP system or your HANA databases or your Cloudera data warehouses or Snowflake or whatever you're using. So we're seeing this rapid growth of SaaS. We're seeing some consolidation, but concurrently, the hybrid theme, Pat, isn't just hybrid for infrastructure, it's hybrid for software.
That's right. And I think that gives the hybrid players like a Microsoft and even like an Oracle an advantage. If we truly believe that, it's going to take years. And I think Salesforce will get to this. It's going to take them a while to do that. I'm still wildly skeptical about Slackforce, but I will, I'll be watching everything that Salesforce does with it with eyes wide open. And I never say never. I'm just going to say it's not probable. I mean, the challenge of going up against a Microsoft and Google is immense. If there's one company who can give the best run at it, I do think it's Salesforce. One of the bigger themes that I saw in terms of SaaS was I would call it the popularization and realization that connecting the front end of the enterprise to the back end of the enterprise is a really good idea. So for instance, connecting your customer to your factory, or connecting your customer to logistics and doing it in real time. And, today it's done through APIs or ETLing data out into a data lake. But this whole notion of doing it real time and having it in the same place, I think has merit. You have to have a good back end and a good front end to make that matter. And I think this is where enterprise SaaS is going. If you do not have this capability, it is going to be a difficult spot to be in. I think that Microsoft and Oracle are doing a really good job at getting that message across, not because it gives them a competitive advantage, but it's because it's true. Obviously, Zoho, with them literally having one platform, could give them an advantage as well. But I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it as much.
Super smart in the SMB space. Zoho is one to watch in that space in particular. That's really where the company wants to play, and why you don't necessarily hear. Also not public, so that tends to quiet the crowds. Pat, one last kind of prediction I'll make on clouds and SaaS, and then maybe we can wrap it up with a little personal anecdote here at the end. But is Amazon and AWS is going to continually get more and more involved in software. We saw it with Connect We saw it with a number of software layers for everything, on an infrastructure side. We also saw it with analytics and BI tools. The company's just quietly building a bit more of a game there. And when you listen to Andy talk, you just got to kind of say to yourself, why not? I think they're going to be there. And so, and if they're there, they're going to be competitive, no doubt about it.
It's funny. I've agonized in trying to figure out what makes their moves. And I'm convinced that if you are a SaaS company and you sign up for AWS SaaS, PaaS or IaaS, they won't get into it. If they don't have enough customers that are signing up in SaaS, let's say something like a contact center, then they're going to go do it themselves, right? That to me is the magic. I've decrypted. It's all about money. Okay, if they can't get enough IaaS and PaaS customers, they're going to roll up a SaaS service.
But I mean, that's the stack, and that's really what it was designed to do.